Seeing a little more hair than usual in your brush or on your pillow, it can be genuinely scary. It's one of those things that can make you feel kind of worried and honestly pretty isolated. But I want to start by saying you are absolutely not alone in this. And understanding what's going on, that's the first and most powerful step you can take.
So, if this is the question that's been on your mind lately, you have come to the right place. We are going to tackle this head on because that feeling of, wait a second, is this normal? Well, it deserves a clear answer. Let's figure out what's really happening. Okay, let's start with a number that might actually help you breathe a little easier. It is completely 100% normal for us to lose between 50 and 100 hairs every single day. Seriously, it's just part of your hair's natural growth cycle. So, seeing some strands in the shower drain isn't automatically a red flag. So the crucial thing here is knowing the difference between that normal daily shedding and actual hair loss. We're talking about a noticeable change, like seeing significant clumps come out at once, a general thinning, especially on the top of your head, or maybe you look in the mirror and realize your part just looks wider than it used to. That's when it's time to pay a little closer attention. To get to the bottom of all this, we've got a clear game plan. We just touched on how to tell if it's really hair loss. Next, we're going to dive into the most common causes. Then we'll cover the signs that mean it's time to see a doctor, look at a practical at-home care plan you can start today, and finally, we're going to bust some common hair myths.
All right, let's get into it. The most common causes. We're going to investigate the why, because understanding the potential reason is the absolute key to finding the right path forward.
First up, and this is a big one, hormones. Think about it. Major life stages like pregnancy, the whole postpartum period, or menopause, they create these huge hormonal shifts in your body. Even just changing your birth control can be a trigger. These fluctuations can totally disrupt the hair growth cycle, and that often leads to temporary shedding.
Next up is something I think we can all relate to, stress. And it's not just emotional stress. Physical stressors like not getting enough sleep or a sudden drastic change in your diet. That can literally shock your system, pushing way more hairs into the shedding phase than usual.
Sometimes the answer is right there in your family tree. If your mother or grandmother experienced thinning hair, genetics could definitely be at play. This is often called female pattern hair loss, and it usually shows up as this slow, gradual thinning over time.
Now let's talk about what we do to our hair every day. I'm talking constant heat styling, those super tight ponytails or braids that pull on the scalp, and harsh chemical treatments. All of that can lead to breakage and damage that really looks like thinning. This isn't about the root, it's about the hair shaft itself, just breaking.
And of course, what you eat truly matters. Your hair follicles are made mostly of protein, so if you're not getting enough, it can really impact growth. Deficiencies in key nutrients like iron and certain vitamins are also super common culprits that, hey, a doctor can easily test for. And finally, let's not forget the foundation of it all, your scalp. A healthy scalp is absolutely essential for healthy hair. So things like severe dandruff, inflammation, or even just heavy product buildup can clog up your follicles and create an environment where hair just can't thrive. Okay, so we've covered a bunch of the potential causes. Now let's talk about taking action. This next part is all about the signs to look for and the kinds of tests a doctor might run. Knowing when to get help and what to expect when you do is so, so important.
Okay, what's really great about this is how it connects what you are seeing at home with what a doctor might look for. For example, if you're dealing with sudden, really heavy shedding, they're probably going to check your iron levels. If you've got patchy spots or an itchy scalp, they'll want to examine it up close. And if the thinning has been going on for more than 3 months, checking your thyroid and hormone profile is a really logical next step. It's like a roadmap for a diagnosis.
So while you're figuring out the root cause, maybe with a professional, there are absolutely things you can start doing right now at home. This is all about creating the best possible environment for your hair and scalp to do their thing.
Let's just walk through this simple 4-step plan. First, just be gentle. Give your hair a break from the high heat and those super tight styles. Second, focus on your scalp health. Use mild products that really cleanse without stripping. Third, take a look at your plate. Are you getting enough protein and iron-rich foods? And finally, step 4, find a stress management technique that works for you, whether that's yoga, meditation, or just a good old-fashioned daily walk.
Okay, before we wrap up, let's do a quick lightning round to clear up some very common myths about hair loss. There is so much misinformation out there, so let's just set the record straight, shall we?
First up, cutting your hair makes it grow faster. This is 100% false. A trim is great. It gets rid of split ends, which makes your hair look healthier and thicker, but it has zero effect on the follicle at the root, which is where the growth actually happens. Next, this old idea that hair loss is just a man's problem. Completely false. As we've just talked about, hair loss is incredibly common in women for a whole host of different reasons. And finally, the fear that washing your hair too often is causing it to fall out. Also false. When you shampoo, you're just dislodging the hairs that were already in the shedding phase of their cycle. Trust me, they were going to fall out anyway. So if there is just one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Understanding is the first step to feeling in control. Instead of panicking, try to focus on investigating the why behind what you're seeing. That's how you'll find the right solution for you. I really want to end by just reinforcing this message. This experience can feel deeply personal and just overwhelming, but millions and millions of women go through it. There is a community, and there are answers out there. You are not alone on this journey. And that brings us to the end. I want to leave you with this question to think about. After everything we've covered, what is the one simple first step you'll take? Is it booking that doctor's appointment? Maybe adjusting your diet? Or maybe it's just deciding to be a little gentler with your hair. Deciding on that first step, that's how you take back control.